This YCN segment is brought to you by New London Hospital, an affiliate of Dartmouth Hitchcock.
YCN Game of the Week is brought to you by Sensible Shoe in Rutland, name brands for less. H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating, your local energy specialist. La Valley Building Supply, home improvement and construction from concept to completion. Mascoma Savings Bank, with no shareholders to please, they are committed to remaining independent and to reinvesting profits in our community. Echo Communications, a digitally integrated commercial printer and mailer located in New London, New Hampshire. Ramonto's in Claremont, always fresh, always delicious. And by Top Stitch Embroidery, the best for your team and so much more.
Along with Andrew Zuride and Alex Dodge, Greg Oren, I'm Dave Collins. 12 minutes up on the board, fourth quarter ready to start here in Rutland, Vermont at Alumni Field. The Rutland Raiders with a 35-0 lead over the Essex Hornets. Rutland comes in with a record of 2-4, won their first game of the season against Brattleboro, 44-14. Lost 4 in a row then to Champlain Valley Union, BFA St. Albans, Hartford, and Middlebury, and then won last week against Rice Memorial, 41-21. For the Hornets, they lost their first 5 games of the season: South Burlington, St. Johnsbury, Champlain Valley Union, Middlebury, Rice Memorial. They finally won last week for the first win of the season against Colchester, 20-0. Third down and 9 for the Hornets, now going left to right across your computer and TV screens, and flags will fly. This looks like a false start against Essex. 12 minutes up on the board, 35-0, Rutland on top. And we'll check what the penalty marker is all about. Dead ball, false start against Essex. Still third down, but instead of 3rd and 9, call it 3rd and 14. As they got as close as about the 45-yard line of Rutland. But now the ball resting on their side of midfield. Dakota Peters, the story in this one for Rutland. 5 touchdowns all on the ground to go along with about 150 yards rushing. Quinn for Essex. Shotgun snap. Takes it. Handoff. Pushing his way forward is Carney. Picks up maybe 3 yards before he's wrestled backwards. And gets back to about the original line of scrimmage, but now a 4th down and 10 for the Hornets. And the ball at the Rutland 44-yard line, so call it 4th and 8.
Today's game is being brought to you in part by Echo Communications. Call them for all of your printing needs. And thank all of our advertisers for their support.
So a big 4th down coming up for Essex. 4th and 8. Ball on the left hash mark at the Rutland 44-yard line. 11:15 and counting to go in the 4th. 35-0, Rutland on top. 4th and 8 for Essex. Quinn back, fires to the left, caught! And that is enough for a first down, as jumping in the air is Corkum to make the reception. And the drive continues, so a bit of a moral victory right now for the Hornets as they push the ball into Rutland territory. Their deepest penetration so far. It's 1st and 10 for Essex at the Raiders 35.
Nice job by Corkum there, hauling in that pass. He got hit right as the ball got to him, but he held on. Secured it as he went to the ground. Nice job by him.
Cam Quinn, the senior quarterback. He's been hurried tonight when he hasn't handed off the ball. He's got 2 receivers down low, 1 up top. Shotgun snap, looking left. Has time now, looks right, fires it downfield. Has a man there, but it's almost picked off. Good coverage, threw it into a double team as Willie Gillette, the junior for Rutland, might have gotten a hand on it. The pass was intended for Jordan Hines. Falls incomplete, and that'll bring up 2nd down and 10 for Essex at the Rutland 35. And because we're in the 4th quarter, the mercy rule takes effect in the 4th quarter here in Vermont if a team is leading by 35 points or more. Even though it was an incomplete pass, you can see on your screen the clock ticking. 9:52, 9:51 remaining here in the 4th.
Yeah, and I think Gillette there really probably should have picked that ball off. Hornets lucky that wasn't another interception in their 3rd turnover of the game.
Quinn again in the shotgun with Carney behind him. Man in motion, takes the snap, handoff to Carney. Tries to fight his way through the middle, gets to the left-hand side across the 30, still on his feet, fighting for yardage. Ball comes loose. Who has it? It's loose at the 36-yard line, a battle for it And the officials say that Essex recovers, but they'll actually lose about 2 yards on the play. So it'll bring up third down at about 12 for Essex from the Rutland 36 with the clock still ticking, 9:07, 9:06 remaining. And Essex just fighting for some points right now as they trail Rutland 35-0.
Yeah, we've seen it before. The Hornets, when they get past midfield, the few times they've struggled, especially avoiding turnovers. Those last 2 plays could have resulted in turnovers, so Hornets really lucky to still be driving here.
And just when you think Essex is sort of getting into a groove,
right,
Andrew, it's a penalty, it's a fumble that they recovered, it's a turnover. They just seem to can't get out of their own way. So 3rd and 12 from the Rutland 36. Quinn in the shotgun, man in motion. Fakes the handoff, runs into his own running back, now fires to the left-hand side. It's caught at the 15, at the 10, and down to the 8-yard line. Great pickup by Grady Corkum as he hauled that one in between 2 defenders. Another first down for Essex. And finally, for the first time in this ball game, we can say Essex first down and goal in Rutland territory from the 8-yard line.
Nice job by Corkum once again hauling in that pass. He's been big in this drive and he's made a number of nice plays tonight. And obviously the Hornets, they're way down in this game in the 4th quarter, but if they could just get a touchdown, that's a moral victory for them. Just avoid the shutout.
Quinn in the shotgun, first and goal from the Rutland 8. Essex moving left to right. Quinn takes the snap, being flushed, will take it himself, gets wrapped up at the 10, and wrestled out of bounds. Still on his feet though, but a 2-yard loss, and now it'll bring up 2nd and goal from the 10-yard line. Again, we're in the mercy rule. The mercy rule is in effect here in Rutland, so the clock runs except for call timeouts and changes of possession. So 7:23, 7:22 to go here in the 4th. Rutland 35, Essex nothing. Hornets threatening for the first time tonight, trying to put some points on the board. They have it 2nd and goal on the left hash mark from the Rutland 10-yard line. Quinn in the shotgun. Man in motion. Handoff. That goes to Hines. Tries to turn the corner on the right-hand side. Gets wrapped up there. Gets bolted down. Picks up maybe 4 yards. And now a penalty marker's down, a late one. And this could go against Rutland, so that might be a first down for Essex. We'll have to check the call. Clock still ticking, 6:45, 6:44 to go here in the 4th quarter. Rutland up 35-0. Let's check the flag, though. Personal foul hit to the head against Rutland, and you saw that. Sure, we'll have a replay of that, but one of the players from Rutland, I didn't catch the number, just sort of projected himself, like almost looked like off of a trampoline, like a missile. And you can't get away with that in the NFL or college. You certainly can't get away with it here in high school. So that'll give Essex a couple more yards towards the goal line. And it will be first down and goal for Essex. Ball on the right hash mark at the Rutland 3-yard line.
I think that was number 20, Lucas Hubbard, there on the original tackle. And then one of his teammates came in and applied the unnecessary hit there. See if that helps the Hornets punch in their first score of the day.
Quinn, the quarterback. The running back behind him is Hines. Quinn takes the snap. Hands off to Hines. Flag on the play. Hines picks up about 1.5 yards. And we'll have to see what this penalty marker's about. Holding against Essex. So again, Andrew, story of the night. Essex gets a little bit, goes 2 steps forward, 3 steps back, whatever you want to call it. They can't get out of their own way. And instead of 2nd and goal at about the 1.5 yard line, the Hornets will be pushed back with this holding penalty. So the officials will mark it off. And now 1st and goal for Essex. Ball on the right hash mark at the Rutland 12-yard line. So if there's a silver lining in this, Essex has a little bit more room to work with if they want to go to the passing game, you know, give their players a couple of more yards to run around in the end zone and away from the goal line. Handoff, this time going around the left-hand side is Millette. Can he turn the corner? He gets across the 10 and down to about the 8-yard line. He's punched out of bounds. But the clock continues to roll because the mercy rule is in effect. 4:33, 4:32 to go in the 4th. Rutland 35, Essex nothing. Hornets trying to get some points on the scoreboard right now. It'll be 3rd down and goal from the Rutland 7, ball on the left hash mark.
If you miss any of our local programs on our 3 YCN network stations, you can always watch our shows and games anytime on our website, ycnnow.com.
Quinn in the shotgun. 3rd and goal from the 7 for Essex. Quinn back to pass, has protection, fires across the end zone. It is caught. Touchdown, yes! Essex is on the board. Corcoran with the 7-yard touchdown reception from Cam Quinn. And the Hornets finally put a crooked number up on the scoreboard. With 3:57 to go in the 4th quarter, it's now Rutland 35 and Essex 6.
Well, Quinn to Corcoran, that's been a popular duo in this drive. Nice shot by Corcoran there, too. He was in motion. Not an easy catch, but Quinn made a nice pass. Almost overthrew it, but just in a spot where Corcoran could get to it and make a play on the ball. A nice job by Essex. That's got to feel good, avoiding the shutout.
On for the extra point is Hines. The holder is Labonte. Snap placed down, kick is up, it's blocked. And so they get 6 points, they can't get 7. But again, a moral victory for the Hornets, putting some points on the board as both teams will head back upfield here in Rutland. 3:57 remaining in the 4th quarter. It's the Raiders 35 and the Hornets 6. We'll be back to Rutland after these words. You're watching YCN's Game of the Week.
This YCN segment is brought to you by Bubba's Bar and Grill on Lake Sunapee in Newberry Harbor.
3:57 remaining in the 4th quarter here in Rutland. Rutland 35, Essex 6 as the Hornets finally get on the board just a few moments ago. A 7-yard touchdown pass from Cam Quinn, the senior, to another senior, Jordan Hines. Left-hand side of the end zone, and now a pooch kick, but whistles and flags on the play. And this might be illegal procedure. It is offsides against the Hornets.
Next week's YCN Game of the Week travels to Langdon, New Hampshire as the Fall Mountain Wildcats host the Cardinals of Stevens High School. Check local listings for air and replay times.
So Essex will kick off once again, 5 yards back at their own 35-yard line. Don't forget our friends Franklin and House too. Franklin and House Sports Show, 5 o'clock weekday afternoons. You can tune in for the live radio broadcast on ESPN Radio, 94.5 FM, 1400 AM and 1230 AM in the Upper Valley. WTSL.com for the web link. Here's a pooch kick. Lands at the 30, and it is covered up. You know what, Andrew? I almost wanted to call Rutland the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Almost the same colors.
Yeah, exactly the same. Yep.
Stevens, Fall Mountain next week. Raiders, Hornets this week.
Right.
So Rutland collects the ball, and they'll have it 1st and 10 at their own 30. Clock running, 3:52 to go in the 4th, and a 35-6 lead for the Raiders.
YCN is now affiliated with the Heroes and Icons Network, drawing from timeless classics as well as more contemporary TV. All eyes are on H&I.
So the backup quarterback, Ryan Moore, who came in for the injured Jared McGlory in the 1st quarter, is under center, and another whistle and a timeout called by Essex. They had too many players on the field. So we'll take a timeout as well. Here from Alumni Field in Rutland, Vermont. Clock stop, 3:28 to go. Here in the 4th quarter, Rutland with the football and a 35-6 lead over Essex. You're watching YCN's Game of the Week.
This YCN segment is brought to you by Echo Communications, a digitally integrated commercial printer.
Back here in Rutland after the timeout called by Essex. Raiders 35, Hornets 6, 3:28 to go in the 4th. Rutland with the football 1st and 10 from their own 30. More in the shotgun. Has Peters next to him. Hand off to Peters. Dives over the center. And maybe picks up a foot or two. But Rutland content with this lead right now to just milk the clock. Dakota Peters. Heck of a game tonight. He's accounted for all the scoring on the Rutland side as the junior, has 5 touchdowns all on the ground to go along with about 155 yards of rushing. That's all they've needed.
2nd down.
2nd and 10 for Rutland at their own 30, going right to left. Moore in the shotgun, standing at his own 25. Peters to his right. Moore takes the snap. Hand off to Peters. Again across the 30, maybe up to the 31, 32-yard line. As the clock ticks down to 2:37, 2:36 to go in the fourth. Rutland with the 35-6 lead. And, you know, Dakota Peters, we saw the explosiveness just in the first quarter. Didn't really realize he might have 5 touchdowns, Andrew, so he will get the award tonight for us, for our broadcast.
Yeah, he will, and yeah, he's our HR Clough, Kearsarge hitting, turning up the heat, player of the game, Dakota Peters, and like you said, 5 rushing touchdowns here tonight, over 150 yards. He was a force for this Rutland offense. Congratulations to him.
Certainly our best if he's got one more year to go. Snap to Moore, give to Peters. Peters across the 35, 40. Could he do it again? Going for 6 across the 45, 40, and bumped out of bounds at the 33-yard line. Oh my, a pickup of about 40 yards, 45 yards on that play. Peters wanted to take that one to the house too.
Right, and I think he heard us give him that award and picked up a big play right there. And nice job by Peters, just really proving to us.
He said, hold my beverage.
Right, exactly.
So Peters picks up the first down for Rutland. We're down to 80 seconds to go in this ball game here in the fourth quarter in Rutland. It has been the Peters show. Dakota Peters, 5 touchdowns already tonight, all on the ground. 1st and 10 for Rutland, ball on the right hash at the 33 of Essex. And now the sportsmanship comes in for the Raiders. And a good move right here is they'll just take a knee to run out the final plays with 60 seconds to go. Classy move right there by the coach, Mike Norman, in his 23rd year with 8 championships for Rutland, as he'll give Essex a break. And tough loss for Drew Gordon. The Hornets of Essex will fall to 1-6. Rutland will improve to 3-4 in their final home game of the season. And a 35-6, well, I guess you could call it a complete victory, even with their backup quarterback for the Raiders here tonight in Rutland. Moore under center this time, and Peters is behind him. And this should be the final play of the ball game as Moore takes the snap and takes a knee as the clock will tick down to 20 seconds to go in the fourth. 35-6. Rutland on top of Essex as both teams will head to midfield for the traditional handshake. And that is the end of the ball game here at Alumni Field in Rutland. The final score, the Rutland Raiders 35 and the Essex Hornets 6. And that'll wrap things up from here. Well, we'd like to thank you for watching online and on TV here on YCN's Game of the Week. The final score, once again, the Rutland Raiders 35 and the Essex Hornets 6. And that'll wrap up our coverage from here at Alumni Field in Rutland. Thanks to Greg, Alex, and Andrew. You can always check out YCNnow.com for the schedule and the replays. Thank you so much for watching, and tune in next week for YCN's Game of the Week. Have a great night, everyone.
YCN Game of the Week is brought to you by Sensible Shoe in Rutland. Name brands for less. HR Clough and Kearsarge Heating, your local energy specialist. La Valley Building Supply, home improvement and construction from concept to completion. Mascoma Savings Bank, with no shareholders to please, they are committed to remaining independent and to reinvesting profits in our community. Echo Communications, a digitally integrated commercial printer and mailer located in New London, New Hampshire. Ramonto's in Claremont, always fresh, always delicious. And by Top Stitch Embroidery, the best for your team and so much more.